around the world. Engineers and architects, constructors and owner-operators are using Bentley's software solutions to design, build and operate the infrastructure that sustains our economy and our environment. Together, we are advancing infrastructure.
Cindy sudah cukup. Oke, Bapak Ibu semua, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi Bapak Ibu semua. Selamat pagi Mr. Edit, good morning. Thank you. Perkenalkan, saya Aldrin Asnil. Saya sebagai official senior dari Konstruktor Pemain Utama. Kami selaku authorized dari Bentley Digital Channel Partner Indonesia, dari ada beberapa channel partner lainnya. Company lembaga kami adalah perusahaan yang bergerak di bidang training engineering, project management, and resource management, dan kami juga sebagai Bentley Digital Channel Partner sejak 2024. Ya. Bidang main service kami adalah project management series, and PMP, exam preparation, architect BIM, engineering, construction, and virtuosity substation software. Jadi Bapak Ibu tidak usah ragu-ragu lagi bila ada kepentingan terkait dengan pengadaan kebutuhan software engineering Bentley, kami siap mensupport ya sampai dengan training implementasinya terkait dengan software yang nanti akan digunakan. secara umum tadi Bu Cindy sudah jelaskan ya mengenai Bentley sendiri. Tapi khusus yang kami nanti akan support, kami akan lebih fokus mensupport Bentley yang subscribe virtuoso ya, itu adalah yang sistem annual subscribe tahunan ya, seperti itu. Jadi Bapak Ibu nanti ada kebutuhan seperti itu, silakan kontak kami siap akan support dengan maksimal ya. Mungkin tadi Bu Sin sudah jelaskan ya secara umum bidang yang kami fokus nanti akan support ya, semua kami support semua produk dari Bentley. Tapi untuk yang structural engineering yang tadi sudah dijelaskan oleh Bu Cindy ya, kita siap untuk mensupport ya maksimal sampai untuk pelaksanaan training-trainingnya Pak. Ya, jadi pengadaan softwarenya dan trainingnya kita support, kan nanti Bapak Ibu akan ada masalah dalam implementasinya, Insya Allah kami siap untuk yang structural engineering software. Tadi juga sudah dijelaskan oleh Bu Cindy untuk software structural ya, ada beberapa software ya, dan di antara beberapa software yang ada di Bentley. Tapi untuk yang ini kami berikan satu special condition, special price sampai Mei ya, bila nanti ada kebutuhan silakan kontak kami yang harga yang sangat spesial dari kami. Itu aja Bapak Ibu semua dari kami. Nanti bila ada kebutuhan informasi silakan kontak di nomor ini ya, nomor di nomor ini ya, bisa dengan saya langsung atau dengan tim kami nanti. Jadi itu aja Bapak Ibu ya yang bisa saya sampaikan. Kami ucapkan terima kasih atas partisipasinya. Semoga acara ini bisa bermanfaat ya, bisa menjadi satu tolak ukur bagi Bapak Ibu semua bagaimana mengimplementasikan software land development ya, dalam proyek-proyek site development ya Bapak Ibu nanti yang akan dijelaskan oleh Mr. Radit ya secara detail ya. Itu aja saya bisa sampaikan. Saya ucapkan terima kasih. Selamat pagi semua. Semangat selalu. Saya serahkan kepada Bu Cindy untuk melanjutkan. Yes.
Can you see the screen online? Okay, good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. All right. Hello and welcome, everyone. I would like to welcome everyone in this room and also everyone joining online in today's session. So we will have a look at OpenSite SiteOps today. It will be a hands-on workshop that we'll be doing. Now, before we even proceed with that, I would like to ask everyone in this room, how many of you are land developers that are working in residential or any kind of commercial projects right now? If you could raise your hands. Okay. And all right. So yeah, before we proceed to OpenSite SiteOps, let me give you a brief idea on what SiteOps is. So basically, the OpenSite brand has two applications. one is Open Site Designer, and the other one is Open Site SIROPS. So today we are going to focus on Open Site SIROPS. As Open Site Designer, the brand we are trying to build a new AI-powered application for that, and that will be released later on this year. If we have time today, we will explore that also. So OpenSite SIROPS is a tool that you can use, which has a 2D interface but operates in a 3D dimension, 3 dimension. Okay, so it's a tool for your conceptual planning, for your site planning, whether it's a commercial project, residential project, or any kind of mixed project. Okay, so let me go briefly with what are the features and capabilities of SIROPS. So hopefully you have all installed SIROPS, everyone joining with us online and in this office also. So if we talk about the brief main key features of SIROPS, those are included of conceptual design. So conceptual design is the main fundamental of SIROPS. You can do conceptual designs very quickly and create multiple revisions so that you can go back to your older revisions and check through different site layouts. And you can get the cost estimation for each of the site layout that you will create. Now, grading optimization is one of, again, another one of the main key features of SIROPS. You can optimize your site and get the grading properly and get the earthwork with regards to your grading. Now, we will take a look at grading for residential, also for commercial purposes, and also for your bill of quantities. You can get a cost report with respect to what you have designed in the site layout inside of SIROPS, whether it could be any kind of project, and it will give you a cost report that will help you prepare your bill of quantities. And also the change management. So whenever you change the layout, whenever you change any kind of materials, any kind of add a new material, or let's say you have a water line, you can even consider that into consideration. SIROPS will take that into consideration in the bill of quantities. And also the site grading portion. That's the most important aspect. All right. And the 3D visualization for digital delivery. So you're all aware that we are slowly moving towards the digital delivery. So we have been using CAD for a long time now. And SIROPS as an application has been in the market for more than 27 years. So you can expect that, I mean, it's still, we haven't explored that much in Southeast Asian regions, but this is the most popular application in the Americas, in North America, South America, and now Europe has started to adapt SIROPS even more because this has automation that was made 27 years back. So that kind of automation is still, we haven't been able to replicate in any other application. All right. So 3D visualization for digital delivery is when you create a site layout, we also give you access to Luminati. Now, Luminati is our rendering application for visualization purpose. So you can directly take the site from SIROPS to Luminati and create realistic visualizations over there. All right. And now, if we come back to our present day scenario, exporting the DWG file or DGN file for final detailed design or drawing production. So I'm sure you guys are currently using DWG files to create your site layouts, right? So just to get a few examples, I would like to ask a few of you, I mean, whoever is working in the site projects right now, if you could give us an example how you're working in your projects right now.
Usually we are using the AutoCAD and also using the Bentley, especially to have the class detection between one another of the discipline, especially between the structure, the architecture, and also the work.
All right. Good. Anyone else? Okay, so yeah. Now moving on. So let's say you design your site inside of SIROPS. Okay. So then you can export the DWG file after you have done the quantities, you have done the grading, you've got the quantities, you have done the visualization also, and you export the DWG file or DGN file and take it directly to any CAD platform, whether it's AutoCAD, MicroStation, OpenSite Designer, and you can do the final detailed design in there, but most of the heavy work will be done inside of SIROPS itself. And I mean, that's the current operation that we are functioning in. And we'll talk about more in iTwin development towards a later stage of today's workshop where we are going more digital into this process. So yeah, let's start the hands-on workshop. But before we begin, I'll just quickly highlight a few of the recent clients that have adopted SciRups. And these are all recent clients that have adopted within the past 3 months. So MISR from Egypt, which is a prominent company in Egypt, and they have also adopted SciRups. Wood Partners in US is a very good big consulting group. They have also adopted Hansen Consulting Group, Crozier, Atlas Civil Design, GCW Engineering, Archway Systems, Inside Real Estate. So you can see clients from North America to Australia to Europe in here, and also in Middle East. So we are exploring everywhere now. It's time our Southeast Asian region also adopts and sees the potential that this software can deliver. Okay, so I will start the hands-on session. I would like everyone to open their SciRups. So we'll just give it a minute for you guys to launch the application. Okay, so all right, so let's begin with the hands-on then. So once you have launched SciRups, this is what the UI is going to look like. You will see most of the tabs and icons are grayed out, and you have administrator and base property in there. Now, to start with working with SciRups, you have to go to base property first. If you could click on base property, you will see we have a base property right now. This is your property boundary. All right. Now it will give you access to all the tabs and all the tools in here. Now, next we'll go to administrator. From the administrator dialog box, this will launch up, and this is where you can create a project and create multiple revisions of the same project so that we can go back to our older revision. So let's create a new project. Okay. All right, so let us create a new project in here. If you click on the new icon in here, so you will find the new project dialog box come up. In here, you can put your project name. So let's say I will do site 01. And in here, I can define what will be the units of my project. So either I'll be using imperial or metric. So I'm selecting imperial for now, and I'll do a save. So now I have a new project in here that's called site 01. Now, if I click on the new button on the right bottom side, you will see there's a new dialog box launching that's called new revision. So this is basically a new, whenever you create a revision, that is the main function of revision is that so that you can go back to your older site development. Let's say I have created a site, I have done the grading, I have the cost estimation. Then the client suggested, or maybe we discussed as land developers, we thought we are going to change that site. Maybe we'll increase the slope or decrease the slope of the roadway. We'll make the parcels a little bit bigger sizes, and we modified the site. But then we found the cost increased way too much than what we hope to expect. So in that case, we can go back to our older revision and work on that one and make the changes. So that's why revision is very important. So we can give it a name, let's say revision 01. You can name it anything. So after you have put in a name in here, we will click on create and open. Okay, so now I have a new project. Now I'll go to base property. So now everything is active for me. So once I have my base property, and base property is nothing but your property boundary. Now property boundary, it is in rectangular form. We have the handlebars that we can modify to increase and decrease, but we will change this property for property boundary in a few moments. So hopefully you have got the DWG file. everyone, or if not, maybe if we are going to drop a DWG file that will bring in a property boundary for the project.
Any kind of files?
Okay, so if you could, if everyone online could confirm if they have received the DWG file.
Bapak Ibu, apakah sudah menerima email dari kami Pak untuk instalasi? Untuk untuk LDBG-nya ya. Barusan diklik oleh Bu Cindy ya. Silakan Pak dicek email masing-masing apakah sudah terima untuk LDBG-nya Pak. Makasih. Email yang tercantum dalam form registrasi ya Bapak Ibu semua ya. Kami kirim via email tersebut. Terima kasih.
We will give it 5 minutes and for everyone to download, or maybe a couple of minutes, and then we will begin. Okay, so has everyone been able to download the DWG file? Okay. In the chat, can we get some confirmation? All right. Okay, so yep, now we are in a new project with a base property. I'll just quickly show you how we got again. We clicked on administrator. We created a new project by clicking on the left new button and gave it a name of site 01. Then we created a new revision from the right side button and we named it revision 01. All right. And we clicked on create and open. After that, we clicked on base property and now we have this. Okay. So after we are here, now we are going to go to import tab. So in the import tab, you could see there's an icon called geolocate. So I'll click on geolocate, and this is where we can locate the exact site through our geocoordinates. Now let's say I'll type in, I want everyone to type in this. So McDowell Creek Greenway. Okay. So we'll give it a few seconds so that everyone can type it in. And after we have typed it in, we will do a search. And it will take us to the exact location. All right. Now, this is our site in here. All right. And we'll just click on, so just below the McDowell Creek Greenway, you will find this location. This is the project site that we will be working on today. Okay, after you have got here, just click on select location and the location will be selected. So if I go to my layers and turn on Esri layers, so you will see that on the right side, you have 4 different options: properties, layers, spatial templates, and blocks. You have to click on layers after you have geolocated the site. And under the layers, you will find there is something under auto draw that's called Esri layer. Now, Esri is a GIS application, GIS company that produces ArcGIS. Everyone's aware. If you click on Esri layer, now go to Esri layer option in the icons, in the tabs at the top, and click on World Imagery. And click on OK. All right, now we will scroll a little bit up and down, and we will see that the exact Esri layer or the image world imagery of the live world imagery from Esri is being loaded up. Okay, for this exact site. We'll just zoom out a little bit. Now this is the site, all right, on this side. So after we have reached this section, now we are going to import our terrain. Now the terrain data we can import in many ways. If we go to our import file option under the import tab, the first left option, import file, and you will receive this dialog box. From this dialog box, you will click on browse and locate where the file is in your PC that you have downloaded, the DWG file that we have sent you, right? So I'll just locate mine. So once you have located the terrain.dwg file, this has the terrain data. Now, if you take a look closely at the file types, you will see there are different type of files that we can import inside of Cyrops. It can be DWG, DWX, DXF, XML, SOZ file. SOZ file is basically a Cyrops file, and then KML file, and XLS file also. If you have any kind of ASCII format, also that one also you can convert. ASCII is basically your XML. That means you have the data in XYZ format, in XYZ columns. That data also you can import, and the process is same. You just have to select from here. So after once we have selected the DWG file, we will click on open. And after you have clicked open, you will see all of these are grayed out. So you go to the bottom side, you will see there is an option called upload data. I will click on upload data. So now once the data is uploaded, you will see all of these options is highlighted. Now I'll go to the topmost option, that is existing contour points. So if I click on the drop down, I have a few things in here. Now these are coming straight from the DWG file. So if you're importing an XML file, you may find different options. There could be tin files. You will find something written as tin, or you would find something written differently, but you have to know where the contour is. But in general, you'll find it in contour, existing grade, or in form of a tin. It should be in TIN. So we'll click on contour existing grade. Now you can see in a preview, this is my terrain. I have the contours of the terrain, and I'll go to property boundary in here, a little bit lower. And I'll click on the drop down and click on area property, the first option. So now you can see that I have my terrain data along with the property boundary of my project that I'll be working on. Now I'll just click on merge into revision. I can set the units in here also, but we already have set the feet units. So I'll just work with that one and click on merge into revision. And it will give me a warning. I'll just click on OK. So yeah, now the terrain is imported, and the Esri layer will go back temporary, but you have to go back to layers and bring back, turn off and turn on the Esri layers, and go to Esri layer again and bring in the world imagery. Click on OK. Now I have the background image and also the terrain data with the property boundary. Now, also, if you're using any kind of CAD applications, you're aware of the layers. This is same as AutoCAD or any other CAD application that you've used in the past. So we are just going to scroll down under the layers and turn off the contour existing grade, proposed grade, and we'll just keep this as it is, blank. All right, so we can see the project more clearly, the area of the project. Now for the working ease, we are going to turn off our Esri layer also, so that you could get a better visualization of how we are going to create the site. After we have turned off contour existing grade, contour proposed finished grade, and Esri layer from here, now we will select the property boundary. Once the property boundary is selected, we will go to our properties. And in my properties, I will go select all sides. So if you go to select all sides, this is where you will see the properties of the boundary that we have created. What are the parking setbacks? What are the building setbacks in here? Okay. So for our project, we will set both of these things to 0. Let's say we'll make the parking setback 0 and enter. Also the building setback, we will set it to 0 and enter. Okay. So we only have the property boundary now. We have set the parking setback and building setback to 0. Now we are ready for our site layout design. Now I will go to layout tools. So once we have reached this section, we are ready to create our site. Now either it's going to be a residential project or a commercial project or a mixed project, right? So why don't we start with the residential one? So let's go to the first option, that is, you can see drive path. All right. Under the layout tab, you will find something called drive path. We'll click on drive path. We'll close this pop-up. Okay. Now I will create a driveway similar to this. I want everyone to follow the path, similar kind of path that I will be creating. I'll just hit escape and start again. Okay. So let's create something like this. And right click. After we have connected, we have left click and selected all the points. We come to this point and then we right click and end path. Okay. So I'll show the process once again for more clarity. You go to drive path, you left click and start drawing. You go to a certain point, you left click again, you left click again, you left click again and create the drive path up to this point. Then we left click and then we right click and end path. Okay. So I have the driveway. Now I'll click on driveway again and let's create something from here. So I'll click on the center line of the driveway. All right. So make sure you will see that center line will get, it will get dashed when we highlight on the center line, and we'll just select, we'll just click on driveway and we'll click on the center line and we'll left click and create something like this. All right. So let's do an end path. I will quickly move this. I will select this point and modify a little bit. Okay. We'll just keep it like this. And we'll go to drive path again. And let's say we'll go to Esri layer one more time from the layers section. We'll bring back the background imagery. And we will tie in with the existing ground in here. Okay, so existing road. So we can see the road is in here. So I'll just start from here and connect it with the driveway and then right click and end path. Okay, now I have a few driveways created. Now the magic is I'll just hit the layout solver and the driveways, my driveways are created. Now we'll go to, once the driveways are created, I will let me connect this driveway. I'll select the driveway and I'll highlight the end point of this driveway and I'll move it towards the center line of the other driveway and keep it there. So now my driveways are all connected. Now I'll go to one corner point, and if you can see there will be a rectangular box in here. If you click on that box and go to properties, you will see there's a radius. So if I modify this and let's make it 340 feet. So now I'm modifying the radius of my driveway. Similarly, I can modify all of the points. Let's say this is 240 feet. I'm just doing 340 and 240 so everyone can follow. And I'll make this one also 240 feet. And the last one, I'll keep it to 340 feet. Okay, so we have modified our driveway as well. Now we will go to parceling. You can see there's a tool called parceling. Now we'll click on parceling. So parceling is basically going to create the parcel areas. We can manually create parcels from here also by clicking on parceling area and just dragging, clicking, left clicking and drawing like this. Or there's another option. I'll just select my property boundary and I'll go to draw. So select the property boundary and go to draw tab. Okay, in under the draw tab, you will see an option called offset. We will click on offset and we'll do an offset on this direction. Okay, so I'll just provide the direction. I'll bring my mouse in a side and I'll just type in 5. So it will have an offset of 5 feet inside of the property boundary. Okay, so you can see there. Now I'll just select the offset that I created. That is a 5 feet offset. And I'll go to select all sides. So after you've selected the property boundary, selected the offset, and you clicked on select all sides, you click on convert to area. So if we click on convert to area, so this offset that we did, it will become an area. Now, what type of area is it going to be? We have it as a type other. We'll keep it as other. And the subtype we can define as, let's say, or maybe from the type itself, we'll just make it. We'll go to the type drop down and we'll make it parceling. Okay. From the type, we'll change it to parceling. So under the type drop down, you click on the drop down, you will find parceling. Just click on it and it will become a parcel and you can see that it's highlighted in blue color. Okay. So once that is done, I will come to this corner and I will select on this rectangular box and I'll drag this parceling area. So I will drag it up to, let's say, here. Now you can see that my parcels are already created. Let's keep it like this, maybe something like this. All right. So my parcels are already created. It just automatically created them. I didn't have to do anything. So I just created a parceling area. Yeah. So okay. So I just created a parceling area and we have the parcels ready, right? Okay, so let's do one thing now. You can see that these parcels that you see, if you turn off layout solver, there's something at the top right that's called layout solver. So once you hit the layout solver, the automation is going to kick in. Okay, so layout solver is basically the automation for the site. If I turn this off, you can see this is how the site looks like now. I'll zoom in a little bit and it will give you the numbers of each of the parcels, each of the building, how many square foot we have for each property parcels. Yeah, please go ahead.
Mine doesn't show the parcel.
Okay, let me.
Yeah, you have to drag the handlebars. Let's turn off the UV layer. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so hopefully everyone has caught up to this step. If you have any questions between the process, feel free to ask us in the chat also. And everyone present in the room, please feel free if you are having some issues, please ask. Now, okay, so we have this parcel right now. I'll click anywhere in this blue highlight area. If I click on it, it will select the parcel that we have, the parcel boundary. And then we go to our properties. Under the properties, you will see there are many options, most notably the parcel template and the grading percentage, how much slope we are going to allow throughout the site, throughout the entire project. It will define, not throughout the specific parceling area. So the minimum and maximum we have provided for the site is 33%. That's for the site, but it will change. All right, we will define separate ones for the parcels, the homes that we are going to build. They will have different kind of slopes. I'll show you the settings. So once we have clicked anywhere in the blue highlighted region and we went to the properties, we are going to see this. So let me just turn off Esri layer so we can have a better look at this, and I'll go to properties. Just make sure you drag the parcel boundary from here to within the site. And we can further modify this with the handlebars. So, but anyways, we have our parcels ready, and make sure layout solver is on. Layout solver needs to be on for the parcels to be generated. Now we'll go to parcel template edit option. We'll click on edit. So once you click on edit under the parcel template, this window is going to pop up. So basically what it says is the buildings, the parcel sizes that we have, the property of each house, the whole boundary of each house, what are the front setbacks, what are the back setbacks, what are the yard slopes, how much square feet are we going to allow for the entire parcel area. So you can see minimum surface parcel is sent to 10,000 square feet, and a parcel depth of 150 feet, parcel frontage 50 feet, and these are the sizes of the buildings that we have inside: building width, building depth, and how much we have on the sides, in the front, and then we have the sloping, the front sloping, the back sloping, what's going to be the minimum sloping and what's going to be the maximum sloping, because we don't want too much slope in our yard. If we have some open space in front of the building, we don't want it to be sloped too much, just enough so that it can drain the rainwater. All right. So we can change all of these settings and save it as a new template. These will be stored. So for different projects, you don't have to change them again and again. These will be stored in your project, in your inside of Syrops as a template. Now, let's say I define the type. Okay, if I go to, let's say it's a set under the type, I can define it's a single family, is it a duplex, or is it a multifamily? And also I can put a name on it. So let's say I'll put a name, let's say client C, and give it a parcel surface of 20,000 square feet. Okay, I've changed the parcel surface in here of 20,000 square feet. I'll click on apply. Now you can see we have bigger sizes of parcels. Now, another quick things that Syrops will do is, you can see we have a red warning sign in here on the left side. So that basically is saying that the parcel size that we have provided, the minimum size, does not fit that particular area. What we can do is we can quickly modify this. Let's say we'll just give it this particular point a radius of 100 feet, and we are going to drag this a little bit. Yeah, now we have accommodated the site. Okay, so we have bigger parcels, we have the building sizes are the same. We can change the building sizes also. That's in highlighted in blue. But throughout the parcel template, from the parcel template, you can actually modify this. All right, so we'll keep it at as 20,000 as of now. Now we'll go to the farthest end. Okay, before we go there, let's modify this corner as well and give it a radius of 100 feet. Right. Now, we'll go to this furthest corner of my site. I'll click on this rectangular handlebar or rectangle, whatever you will call it. So we'll just highlight it. Once we select it, it's highlighted as full white. And we'll go to our properties in here. And under the properties, you will see there are many options that we can control from here. We will go through all the options, but as of now, we will just explore cul-de-sacs. So there's an option called cul-de-sac. We'll just click on it. So there will be more options that will expand in here. We'll give the cul-de-sac a radius of 5 feet. Now you have a cul-de-sac at that particular corner. Okay. But let's say my client says, okay, this particular corner that I have on the left side, I want the parcels to be smaller. I want to accommodate more houses in there. I can sell them faster. So what are we going to do in that kind of scenario? We will go back to our layout tab. And under the layout tab, you will see there's an option called divide a line. Okay, we'll click on divide a line and we'll go to our property boundary and I'm making sure that everyone is following just before. We'll try to go a little bit slower. So we have done the cul-de-sac. We went to the layout tab and we are going to divider lines. Okay. We'll go to divider lines and we'll click on the property boundary. Anywhere in the property boundary and go from one side to another side. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So if some of you have missed already some of the earlier stuff, I'll just Control Z and we'll go through again. Okay. So we are back at our earlier stage. I have done Control Z. So I will show the same thing again, how we modified the parcel area. So we'll just click on this highlighted blue area and we will go to our properties dialog box and we'll go to select all sides. Okay. So from select all sides, we will get this option, parcel layout. Once again, I'll click on this parcel template. I'll go to my properties and I'll go to select all sides. Okay. And I'll get this parcel layout. Right. If I click on parcel template, then we have this dialog box open where we can actually define the building sizes and the parcel sizes. So let's say our minimum parcel surface in here is 15,000 square feet. Okay, so we have removed this and made this 15,000 square feet. And let's say we also change the building. Let's say the building depth, we are going to change to 65 and the width of the building, we are going to make it 45. Okay. So we will change the building depth and also we will change the building width. Now what's highlighted in yellow color is we are changing the default values. I'll show you how you can set the default values as well, but this from here, you can change, you can see that which are the ones that we have changed the values for. Now, after we have changed it to 15,000 and 65 and 45, we will click on apply. So now you can see that the houses just got bigger. Okay. And the parcel sizes also changed. They came down from 20,000 to 15,000. Okay. Again, if we go back to our parcel area, I'll just go to parcel template and maybe put it back to 20,000 so that we can do some experiments. So I'll set it back to 20,000. Okay, up to this point, hopefully everyone has been able to follow. Now, Let us go to the farthest end of the driveway. To the farthest end of our driveway, we will go and we will see there's a rectangular point in here. If we go around it, we can see it's getting highlighted. Once we go near it, it will be yellow. That means I can now select this point. So I'll just select this point. Okay, and if you see that it's moving, just hit on escape. It will still be selected. If by chance after selecting, if it's moving, you just hit escape in your keyboard. So it is selected. Now I'll go to properties of this point and I will assign cul-de-sac. You will see by default, it will be turned off. So I will click on cul-de-sac and give it a radius of 5 feet. Okay. And I'll hit enter. Now I have a cul-de-sac in here. All right. Now, once I have made the changes, I can see that a building does not fit in there. It's showing me red error. That means the parcel size that I provided for that particular area after giving the cul-de-sac, it does not fit. All right. So anyways, we are planning to sell that corner plot more faster, and we want to make the buildings smaller, also the parcels smaller in that particular area. So to do that, we will go to parcel divider. Under the layout tab, you will go to parcel divider and click on parcel divider. So now I'll go to my property boundary, and you can see at the furthest end, you will see the box means you can now select. All right. You will see it's in circle, and once you reach the property boundary, it becomes a box, the cursor. So now you can select from one end of the property boundary by left clicking to the other end of the property boundary. And again, you can left click. And then you, after you have done the left click, you right click and end path. So now I have a parcel divider in here. So what will my parcel divider do? So we are going to divide the parcel area that we have built. Okay, for that we have to go to edit in the edit tab. Okay, I want everyone to go to edit tab after they have created the parcel divider. Now, after we have done it, we will select the parceling area by clicking on the blue highlighted area, and you will see that cut area is now on. If I click outside, you will see it's by default, it's not on, but right now, since we already clicked on parceling area, it's on. All right. So now if I click on cut area, so it's asking me to select a particular area that I want to divide, I want to cut. So I'm going to just click anywhere in this highlighted region. I'll do a left click. Now it's asking me to select object list. Under there, you can see at the bottom left, it's telling me to select the paths to cut with. After I have selected the area, I will select the divider line, left click again, and then we will do a right click. Okay. Sorry, I just did not left click. So left click on the area, left click on the parceling divider line. And once you click on the parceling divider line, you will see that is highlighted. Then right click outside of the property boundary anywhere. Once I've done this, now you can see this is a different parcel. This is a different parceling area, and that one is a different parceling area. Okay. So now I will quickly select the parcel divider again. Now, if I left click on the parcel divider, I can delete this, but right now I don't want you guys to delete this because maybe unintentionally you could delete the parcel layout also. So, but I will just delete this to show you that it can be deleted, but still it will be divided into two parts. Okay. Now we will go towards the farthest end of this parcel. We will select this particular parceling area, and we'll go to the properties of this area, and we'll go to the parcel layout and go to our parcel template, and we'll click on edit. Okay. So as we suggested, we need smaller plots in here, smaller buildings. All right, so let's just change the minimum parcel surface to let's say 5,000, and or no, maybe 8,000 square feet, and building depths to 35, width to 35, and the depth to 55. Okay, so I have modified the parcels, and I've changed the parcel surface to 8,000, building width to 35, and building depth to 55. And I'll just click on apply. Okay, so now you can see I have smaller lots. If it still cannot fit a building, I can just select and go to the handlebar and just move it a little bit, maybe just to fit it. Yeah. So now the building is going to fit. Okay. So now you can see that I have different parcel sizes in two different parcel layouts. Okay. Those are the smaller plots and those are the bigger ones. So once we are done with the parcel layout, now at the bottom side, you can see it's telling me how many parcels I have throughout the entire site. It's 40 parcels. We have 40 parcels in here. Now I'll go to this furthest corner also, the bottom driveway, this furthest corner. I will select highlight on this center line of the driveway, the end point. I'll click on it, and I'll go to the properties in here also, and I will go to cul-de-sac. I will turn it on, give it a radius of 5 feet, and enter. So this one also has a cul-de-sac now. Okay. So now we have created a basic site. We are not going into too much flashy. For hands-on, for the first time, we are going to create some basic ones. Now, we are going to go into further modifications of this site. So parcels are fine. Parcels we have already created, right? We have created cul-de-sacs. We have created different parcels, different sizes of buildings and all. Now, the most important part that we are going to go is with the driveway. But before we proceed with more further modifications of our driveway, I would like to ask everyone is if anyone has any issues, and or if anyone needs any help, anyone is lagging behind. Everyone joining online, please write in the chat box if you have any questions up to now or having any issues before we move forward. Anyone in this office right now have any issues? Yep.
Perhaps how we can alter the road,
How we can alter the road?
I mean the points over the road.
Yeah, the vertical
Yeah.
line. Yeah, that's where I will go now. So before I go to the road profile, just throughout for the parcel layout. I mean, till now, has everyone followed? Can you kindly write in the chat box, everyone joining online? Yeah, please. So
Hi, seems I still have now the problem to access the site ops because in here I still end up.
This is all inside designer actually. This one thing I love. So, this. Okay, during the installation, we did not put. No, not installed. So, have to do it. Can you please ask them to wait one moment? Please. If you have to do that.
have you guys installed?
Yes. Could you please share your focus? So
Previous
no, I mean the.
Oh, this one. Yeah, I'll share it. Up to now, where we are, maybe where we are presently.
Yeah.
I'll just share this file with everyone online and everyone in this room so that we can just all be on the same page. So let me go to export and Let's go to DWG. I'll export existing grade and proposed finished grade. Let's see. Browse. So everyone joining online, hold on a bit. We are going to share this file up to this state where we are. Let's say live 01. Let's save it to somewhere. And yeah, let's say save this. Okay. Right. Cool. And where can we share from Zoom, from the chat box? File. Okay. And we'll go to our desktop, to our design. I see one. All right, everyone, we have put the current status of the file, the current design in the chat box. We would encourage everyone to download the file. And after you have downloaded, I'll show you how to get back to where we are right now. So please download. Meanwhile, I will close Syrops and relaunch so that everyone can do the same. Let's do a save and close. Okay.
Unfortunately, you're not able to access the cells. During the modifying tool. Single. Do the modify. Yes.
Yeah.
So have everyone downloaded? If you could just ask in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. We'll get a confirmation from everyone and
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
proceed.
Yeah. Maybe do you have some like flow chart here?
Flow chart.
Process.
How to import the file?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll show that. How to import. I will show that. I just relaunched. So I have relaunched Syrops. You guys, everyone, please download the DWG file. Then I'll show you how to import that same model where we are right now. And I want everyone to follow that. So are we moving? For Syrops? I think so. We should
I think the software that from the email was the open set designer. And the government installed it. There is no such kind of. We will start maybe.
Because the see and release all of the same. So you want the configuration?
Yeah.
Maybe just something. Yeah, we could ask everyone to.
Bentar ya, dan untuk pace dari lahirnya ke sebapak atau oke ya.
You go a bit more slower. Yeah. Okay.
Nanti kan ada video kita share.
Yeah,
Video.
the page.
Video recording.
Understand.
How to open the file then?
Yeah, I'll show them. Okay. So you go back to your original screen. Okay, you have already done it. It's fine. Okay. Nice. But let's use the one that I have created. So you just go to administrator and create a new project.
New project and then the version and then we will have to geolocate again. And again. Clear them up. Yeah. No, not yet. No, there's a geolocate first. Like I will. So we install one side for open side. That's therefore open side should be in the rooms. Would you try to from your windows you try like inside.
Oh, okay. Bisa. Oh. Ya, apa ini sama ya? Iya. Sama ini Mbak, itu paling bosan dari mana? Ya, sama. Suka ada termasuk waktu atau misalnya hari Mbak. Karena kita bisa belajar ini. Biasanya kan 2 minggu tuh kita langsung. Iya, ya. Sekarang mati Bapak. Kamu tahu soalnya pakai apa? Masih belum ready. Apa juga? Ya kan tahu kan. Komentar ya.
Ada kita pengen tahu.
Yes. Kalau ada informasi kebetulan kompetensi.
Iya. Kita
Iya. Oh ya. Ya, apa?
Itu pasti boundary. Could we proceed as we have now language? Yeah. Then this may be So there will be three new characters that we can start with. Very strong. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we can go beyond 12 also. I mean, as long as it takes. We find if the online participants are okay. We can do Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, most of them did not have. So any, I mean, no, or, so, yeah, so. So, should we proceed further? Then maybe we can do the break right now and make sure it's prepared by then. Maybe we better find some. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. So, we can have a right now, and we can give a break to everyone. I think like us sing some. Yeah, by that time, I guess all of them will have file prepared. Chatting together. Yeah. And also I'll help them get up and ready. Yeah. And all of them. Yes, yes. I think yeah, please put it late online participants. Yes.
Ada yang mau teh atau kopi?
Okay.
Iya mau teh atau kopi? Mau teh atau kopi? Kopi. Ada pada ibu itu ya. Kopi ya kan. Ada.
So we will have a break. Everyone in online and everyone in this room, we'll have a break for 10 minutes. You guys, everyone can have some snacks and coffee, and we'll be back at 10 minutes and we'll proceed with the hands-on. Make sure you have downloaded the DWG file and we'll proceed after that, after 10 minutes, okay? Yep, thank you. See you all in 10 minutes. Okay, welcome back, everyone. We will proceed now. Let me just see how we can minimize this.
It will show how
Yep.
to import.
Yeah, I'll go through. Can we? Where is it? Yeah, here it is. Okay. So, oh, my speaker is okay. Yeah. So, am I audible to everyone who has joined online? Uh, if yes, then we will proceed on how to import that DWG file. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let us proceed to the administrator pane in here under the project tab. We'll go to administrator. In here, we can create a new project, or under the same project, we can create a new revision. So let it be under the same project we created, giving it a project name, whatever we had, and we'll just create a new revision of this. We'll name it revision 2 or 3, whatever you feel like, and just after giving it a name by clicking on the new option at the bottom right side, we give it a name and then click on create and open. Do you want to save the open revision? I would say yes. That will save the existing project that I was in. And now we are back into a new revision. This is blank. So we will click on base property. Base property will bring all the options online, so we can work with all the options. After clicking on base property, we will go to the import tab. Under the import tab, we have the first option, that is import file. So we will click on import file, and we have this dialog box open that we earlier used to bring in the terrain model. So let us browse by clicking on the browse button and go to this live 01 DWG file that you guys have downloaded, wherever it is stored in your downloads or documents. So go to that exact location and select it and click on open. Okay, after you have clicked on open, you go to upload data. Okay, so as soon as we upload this data, we have all of the options on the left side being active. Now, after all of these are active, we will go to existing contour points. We will go to existing contour grade. We will go to break lines and select area car drive. This will be our break line. And we are going to merge into revision. So we are going to select contour existing grade from the first option. We are going to go to break lines and select area car drive, and it will bring all the options in. And we'll click on property boundary, exactly. Thanks for reminding. Yeah, all right. So yeah, under the property boundary also you go to area property. So you have the boundary, you have the terrain, and you have the car drive. Now you just click on merge into revision. Okay. And we'll do okay. And let's see. Okay. All right, for some reason this boundary is not. Okay, well, go to import file again. For some reason you do not get the car drive path, just select the DWG file again, upload data, and let it get uploaded. Go to your break lines and go to the center lines and click on merge into revision. Okay. All right. So now we have the driveway. And okay, so I'll go to layers and I will remove the Esri layer is already removed. Let me remove the contour existing grade and contour finished grade. And the driveway that we have imported, we will do one thing. We will make sure that we select all of them. So by selecting, what you have to do is just left click at any point at the left side. After you want to go to layers and you turn off contour existing grade and contour proposed grade, just left click at the top left side and drag the cursor. So after you drag the cursor, you leave it and you have all these options. You go to all and you have all of these different options that you can select from. You can select custom paths, you can select points. I will choose custom paths. There are 3 paths in here. So all of these are selected. Now, if you're unable to follow, I'll just go once again. I'll try to go a little bit slower. Let me just probably delete this. Escape. Okay. Let's say custom paths. Delete. Okay, so I will show you once again. You go to import file, go to browse, select the DWG file, then click on open and then upload data. So once the data has been uploaded, we will go to our existing contour points and select the contour existing grade. All right. So existing contour point, you go to existing contour, existing grade. Select this one. And for the property boundary, you will go to our area property. That will give you the outline of the property. And then you go to your break lines. And in here, you can specify, let's say I'll take the center lines. All right. I'll just click on center lines in here. And I'll go one more thing I may check. All right, let's keep it as it is right now. We'll just merge into revision and click on OK. Okay, so we have the entire driveway that's in here right now. So from the break lines, if you select center lines, it will bring in all the driveways. Now, how do I convert this into a driveway? Because you can see it's just white lines right now. If I bring this into DWG, into AutoCAD or some CAD platform, it will appear like this, some white lines, right? So we are going to left click at the from the top and select the entirety of the driveway and just leave the left click, go to custom and then go to custom paths. So it will select all the paths that we have imported. Then we will go to properties and we will change the path from the drop down to car drive path. All right. But there are some discrepancies. I think the connection is not right in here. So maybe we can change those. Let's see. Maybe we can just keep it as a vehicle path. Okay. So if there are some, because it's going outside the property boundary, I guess, because we modified the property boundary. So if you have that problem, you can just change it to vehicle path. Okay, that's also fine. And after you have done this, I'll just quickly move this a little bit and let me move this driveway. So click on the handlebars and just move it a little bit so that we can modify. Actually, the driveway was not connected properly. That's why it was appearing like that. Now, after we have done that, we are going to select everything again and go to vehicle. Go to our driveway and go to paths. And we will make all of them car drive paths and hit on layout solver. Okay. So yeah, the connections you may have to check once because the connections might get broken. So just bring them in once and modify them. We have to change this, switch it back. I think we imported it twice. Okay, we just imported this twice. I forgot we already imported, so maybe I just delete one of them. So we actually have two driveways in here, so let's delete at least one of them. Let's see. Let's delete this one. It's not highlighting one. Maybe we can move this. Okay, so actually there's been twice imported. So it's better to import once rather actually. If you get imported twice, we can have such an issue. But anyways, I mean, let me just delete all of this path and let me just create a new one so that from scratch everyone can get an idea. Before we create this, we will do a parceling area. So this is the property boundary that we have. Now we'll go to layer and bring in the Esri layer. We are going to geolocate first before we bring in the Esri layer. We'll type in McDowell Creek Greenway. Just type in, go to import and go to geolocate and type in McDowell Creek Greenway and search. This will take us to the exact project location. Okay, and we will go a little bit downside and this is where we can find our project. And we will just select this location. All right. And we will bring in the Esri layer. We'll bring in process. We'll go to Esri layer. We'll go to world imagery. Click on Esri layer at the top and go to world imagery and click on OK. All right. So now it will bring back the exact location. So somehow our project has moved. That's why there was a breakage of driveway. Let me just move it back to our exact location. Property area. Just move the entire property area from here to, let's say, okay, somehow the import has not changed the location. Actually, before the import, we did not geolocate. Okay, let's do one thing. Let us create from the scratch. We will create the entire thing again, and we'll just close this, create a new project, and we'll do it from the scratch. I didn't think there was an issue with the import. Let's just create a new project. All right. So we'll go to base property. We'll go to import. We'll go to geolocate. We'll go to McDowell Creek Greenway. We'll search. We go to the project location. We go to the select location, and we go to import file. We will go to browse and go to terrain.dwg file. So this is what we have provided earlier, the terrain model, and we'll click on open and we'll go to upload data at the bottom. All right. So once you click on upload data, you will see that all of these are highlighted. Then you go to contour existing grade. Okay, and we go to our area property as for the property boundary. All right, and we'll go to merge into revision. Okay, so we have the site back and we'll go to layers and we will turn off contour existing grade, contour finished grade. Okay. So once that is done, Now we have our Esri layer that we are going to bring in. If we go to Esri layer and we go to world imagery and click on OK. All right, sorry. Okay, so now we have the background image of the entire project. All right. So let us go to layout and create a car drive path. Okay. From the layout tools, you can go to car drive and we will create a drive path that would look something like this. By left clicking, you move, left click and left click and left click, and then you right click and end path. Okay. So hopefully everyone's following, and we go to drive path. And so since we have already covered this section, I will quickly move through it so that we can go to the roadway. Okay. I'll just end path and we'll select handler and we will connect in here, and we will tie in with the existing road. And we will hit the layout solver. All right. We'll change the radiuses a little bit. Okay. So yeah, we're back. So we're back to how we started our project. We have changed the radiuses of each of the driveways. And this is how the driveway looks like. And I will quickly create an offset of the property boundary. Before I go to offset, I'll go to select all sides and make the parking setback and building setback from the properties to 0. And we will do a quick offset inside of 5 feet and enter. Let's do the offset. Okay. Maybe let's just keep it like this. Okay. Somehow keyboard's not working. Keyboard's not working. Let's see. Okay. Let me just try to close this. Okay, again. There's some malfunctions with the keyboard. So yeah, we're back, and we will turn off the Esri layer and we will start working. So yeah, let us select property boundary and go to draw and create an offset. So we can define the offset, how much we want. We can provide it manually on. Also, we can type it in, say 5 feet or 10 feet or something like that. Or we can also visually dynamically place it. And after we place it, we will just select the outline of the offset and go to properties of it. And we will convert it into an area and we will call it a parceling area. Okay. So we will select the parceling area and go to select all sides of this parceling area. And we'll go to edit for the parcel template. And we'll accept this 10,000 square feet that we have. We'll just click on apply and we'll hit the layout solver. And after we have done that, we'll just move the parcel boundary a little bit inside so that it can fit in. Maybe just make it something like this. All right. All right. So we have our project in here. Now we will add the cul-de-sacs as we have done earlier. After we finish getting the project back as we earlier had, we will go through the driveway modification. So let's have a cul-de-sac of 5 feet. Okay, so yeah, this is how the project was earlier when we used. And we can add a parcel divider and have a different parcel size at one corner that we have earlier done. Maybe it will just take a second. We'll just do that and then we'll move further. Let's create a parcel divider and we'll go to draw, edit, and we'll select the passing area. We'll go to cut area, select the area, and we'll select, you'll click on cut area, select the area, then the object list, then right click to divide into multiple parcels. And then from the parcel template, we can define different sizes also. 20,000, apply. All right, so it just takes a few minutes to create the site, right? You have different sizes, different lots of parcels at different areas. Now, this is where we left. Okay, now we will go to our driveway modifications. The driveways, how we can give vertical profiles of our driveway. Now, if I just select left click anywhere at the top side, top left, and let's say I drag my mouse, my cursor, and I leave it, I have this option open. I'll go to driveway and click on paths. So that will let me select all the driveway paths that we have in here. Okay, and I'll go to select all sides. So once I have selected my driveway and went to select all sides, here you can see there are multiple options that we can use to modify the driveway. So you can see there are two sides of a driveway. One is the green side, one is the red side. So you can see there are two things like parcel template red side, parcel template green side. And also you will see driveway red side and driveway green side. So that means we get to define what will be the properties of the driveway on each side of the road. Okay. And what will be the parcels on each side of the road. So, and most importantly, you will see there is something called cross-section template. If I click on cross-section template, if I go to edit, I go to different options. If I double click, you will see there are different kind of road templates that are already provided in here. All right, but you can modify the road, the driveway, the way you want the road profile, right? So let's say we load this one. So this is what we are going to use for this residential project. So it has no median in here, but the driveway width is around 13 feet in both the sides, in both lanes, and it has 3.13% of cross slope in both sides, and we have a curb of 0.5 feet. And we have kept some shoulder width and shoulder slopes, and also we have sidewalk width and sidewalk offset in here. So from here, if I say, let's say I want a median, I can just simply give it a 5 feet median and it will be applied. I will have a median in the middle of 5 feet. Okay. So I'll show you first without a median. So let's say make it 0 and we'll click on apply. So once you hit apply, you will see that the driveway now has sidewalks. Okay. So if I just click anywhere else, you can see that there are sidewalks with my driveway now. These are the edge of the pavements. And then the violet color, you can see these are the sidewalks that I have mentioned in the template. Now I can define the driveway. I can define the sidewalks, how it's going to look like. Okay, so let's say now I select one of the driveways. Okay, after I have defined sidewalks, I will select one of the driveways and go to view and go to open profile. Under the view tab, you will see there is an option called open profile. So after I have selected one driveway, I will go to view and go to open profile, and this will open the profile of the driveway right now. So in here, let us create a driveway profile. For that, we will go to best fit. Now, this is an option that our users use a lot. We will go to best fit and provide a best fit parameters that has a minimum K value. Okay. So let's say my minimum K value is 38 with a minimum tangent length of 50. And we'll click on OK. All right. Now you can see the software is automatically going to calculate the best fit for a vertical profile for this terrain, for this driveway. All right. So
Can I ask, when we are going, the application is trying to analyze the most suitable terrain.
yeah.
Would it be possible that we also set the maximum of the gradient, because usually for the train or the rolling stock will have the maximum of the terrain capacity itself.
Yeah. So actually, the maximum grading you have set for the terrain already at 33% for the entire site. Okay. Now, you can provide a maximum K value that the site is going to fall. All right, because we have standard K value for your sagging, and but you know that maximum K value is different from one state to another, from one province to another. So you define the maximum that is for your state or your province. After that, we will manually change. This is not necessarily we are going to follow. We are not going to follow this. We will change this vertical profile. How we are going to change is, let's say you can see this triangle. If I select this and go to properties, you can see what is the minimum K value is provided in here is 74. All right, minimum tangent length is 50, and the elevation is 750 feet, and the slope before and the slope after is provided, and the maximum slope also. I'll just quickly select and drag this and change it. You can see I can move it and make the terrain have a bigger or lesser slope as I want. And wherever I leave it, it will accept that change. So it does not mean whatever the software will decide, the software will try to calculate what is optimum. So what will cost you the less. Cannot have the driveway more than this percent of slope. In those cases, we will manually decide this. Okay. And we'll just click on cross and it will accept it. All right. Yeah. Okay. So, and similarly, you can change for other roads also. You can select the driveway and go to open profile. And the white line you see is the existing driveway, and then existing terrain, and then the green one is the subgrade. So you just go to a best fit and again provide a minimum K value and just run through the best fit simulation. Then we will manually change it. So by manually changing, there are many methods that we can use. So either we can accept this, or we can just add a point anywhere. All right, we can just add a point, and wherever the slope does not meet the requirements, you will see that it will break and it will appear as red. All right, so wherever we add a point, we can manipulate that particular point. So, but I see the driveway grading is fine based on the parameters that I have given. So I'll just close it and accept it. Okay. If I go to 3D viewer, just beside the open profile option, you can see the triangulation is there. Now, if I click on hardware rendering, I can see my terrain. Now, this is the basic terrain before I have done the grading. This is how the terrain looks like.
So you get a rough idea of the high points and the low points of the terrain through the hardware rendering. Okay. And if there's any ditch or something like that, you can visualize that. Now I'll close this. And after, let's say, we go to open profile and just run a best fit for this one also. For all the driveways, we'll do the best fit and then we'll run the grading. We'll just let it simulate. Yeah. Now you can see it's showing me in red that the parameters I've given are not good enough, and there are some errors in the sloping, right? It's appearing in red. So now I'll have to manually change based on the existing subgrade, whatever I have, I can manually change the slope in here. So let's say I add a point in here and another point maybe somewhere around, let's say I just keep it like that, and we'll just change this, just get it into more cutting. We'll just change the slope a little bit more so that it maintains, or rather we can do also another option is we can just click on it. All right, if we click on it, it will just become a flatter slope, and now we can modify it according to our need. So I'll just give it a profile like this, and if I go to any of these points and go to properties, I can assign a minimum k value in here. All right, so let's say I'll make it 30 maybe. Mouse. All right, so anyways, it's not getting, I can't select this. Let me just change it. Yeah, please go ahead. Meanwhile,
If there is software and drawback automatically calculation, so there is a built-in code in this or
if the software can do,
automatic calculation.
yeah,
It's like this.
Yeah.
So there is a
hard code.
Yeah.
It has an hard code in there. It is coded inside of the application that it will, the way it is coded is that the software will always try to find the best optimum cost for the project, the best design that you can have so that the cost is minimum. Okay, and also, yeah,
like geometric regulation, like
Yeah.
so
for the profile.
for the geometric design.
For the geometric design, you it does not have any, I mean, specifications that you can select inside of the hard code. You can just provide the minimum k value and the tangent length, and that based on that only the software will calculate. Other than that, there are no such parameters that you can provide, but I mean, you can manually design based on the requirement. I mean, you can manually just change the k values and add a bit of slope in there, or get it into more cutting or filling, like that. Okay, so yeah, now after you have added all the vertical profiles, you will go to the grading solver. On the top right, if you go to the grading solver, this is how the software is going to grade. Now you can see we have all the triangulations in here, and red, blue, and yellow. So yellow means little to no change. Red means there is cutting. In all those areas, we have cutting to create the parcels. And the blue areas means we have to fill in those areas. And on the right bottom side, you can see how much cut and fill will be required. It's actually calculating, the software is calculating how much cut and fill is required and how much is it going to cost me. The cost of the entire project also. Okay, so you will get an idea of the entire project cost after the entire simulation is run, but we can let it run for maybe around 30 seconds, and then we'll get an idea of the cut and fill. So if I turn on the boundaries, you can see this is how the project looks like, and turn off the triangles. This is how the project looks like. And if I bring in the contours, the grading is going on and it's developing the proposed surface, the proposed finished grade based on the site that we have designed, right? And calculating the cost, how much it will cost me. And let's say we just close this, and now the software is going to tell me whether the grade is feasible or not. If it says grade is not feasible, that means there will be some grading issues that we will have to fix. Okay. Now, grading is a thing that where we will have to go back and forth from time to time again, because it's something that we need to constantly check whether we are fixing the grade or not. Now, let me show you an example of how to fix the grades. So let me find you a classic example of grading. Let's say let it load. Okay, so this is the finished site of this project, kind of the same area. If I hit the layout solver, this is how it looks like. Okay, so you have all these parcel templates. You have a few parking in there as well. If I zoom in a little bit, let me just turn off the Esri layer. You can see there are cars also in the parking that we have placed, and these are in form of blocks. Now, let me show you how this looks like in the 3D viewer. Okay, so before we go through that, we have to do the grading solver. So we'll just run the grading solver again, and then we'll go to 3D viewer. So now take a look at the cutting and filling in here, and how much it's costing me. It's almost around $2.2 million. All right, so this is how the project is. This is how it's a big project, right? So it will take around $2.2 million, and you have some pond in here as also. You have all these driveways, and there's some parking in here as well. So let us close this and let us go to the 3D viewer, and let's go to hardware rendering. Okay, so yeah, now this is my site. All right, this is the site. Okay, now this is inside of the software itself. We have not gone to Luminati or any other software. You can do visualization inside of Cyrops also. This is 3D visualization. These are just blocks, the houses, the trees that you're seeing. These are just blocks that we have placed, and you can place it throughout every parcel. And you can see there are cars that we have in the driveway, and we can also put some parkings in here as well. You can see there are cars in the parking lots as well. So we can define all of this and the way we want. Now, there are few things about the roadway. Like now you may ask, this is a 2-lane driveway that we have created. Now, if you have the question whether can we create a 4-lane, so let's try that out. So okay, now if I select this driveway, right, and if I go to the properties, select all sides, so you can see it's a two-lane road, right? So we want a 4-lane. So I will go select the driveway, and any driveway, for example, any access road or approach road you can select, and go to the red side of the driveway and change the driveway width to 26 and switch the lanes to 2. So we are making the driveway width double, and hitting enter, and also doing the same green side and clicking enter, and then we'll hit layout solver. Now you can see we have 2 lanes in here, right? 4 lanes in here. So this is the 4-lane. Now this is called boulevard style 4-lane highways, normal straight highways. This is This is called boulevard style basically. And but let's say we want the four-way lane to meet with a two-way lane, two-lane highway. Or there's not a highway, two-lane driveway basically. So for that to happen, we'll do a Control Z, and let's get rid of this four lane. Let's just okay. So we have gotten rid of this four lane. Now let's do a more like we'll go to edit. We'll go to draw. In the tabs, you will see there's a draw tab. If you go to draw tab, you will see there's an option called point. If I click on point and go to the driveway and just click anywhere in the driveway in the center line, okay, I just place a point in there. Now, this is a point that I placed inside of my access road. Now I can highlight only this area. So if I go to the center point of this, the point that I placed inside of the driveway, if I just go to this point now, I can select only one specific area. All right. I can only select this specific area. And only for this specific area, I will change the driveway to make it at 26 feet, two-way lane, and with on the both sides, the green side and the red side, as a four-lane highway. And we will have transitions in here. So for that, you have to choose this endpoint and give a transition offset of, let's say, 70 feet and 70 feet in here also. So here you go. Now we have a four-way, four-lane driveway that's meeting with a two-lane driveway in here, like with this is transition, right? Now there is another section that's another style that's called stacking. If I go to layout and go to drive path, let me just draw a drive path in here. Any drive path and right click and end path. Okay. So if I select this and maybe I'll go to this endpoint and I'll go to the properties of this endpoint of this driveway and provide a stacking of before I provide, let's say we put some entrance flares as 60 or maybe 40 feet, and we'll provide some exit flare radius as 40 feet. So we are changing the entry and exit of this driveway, the width of the entry and exit radiuses, the flares basically. So after we have done that, let us provide a stacking of let's say 100 feet, and we'll provide, we have put up a driveway stacking as 100 feet, and the stacking in the red side, we'll keep it as, let's say, 60 feet. And also at the green side, we'll keep it as a 60 feet. Sorry, not the transition. We'll keep stacking as a 60 feet. Okay. So now we have some stacking in here. And now we are going to transition them. Let's say it has a 70 feet transition, or maybe, yeah, 70 feet is fine. And just, and in both sides. So we have got a transition. Now this is a stacking. This is a stacking style where, you have the driveway stacking into a two-lane road, and the other one, it's just giving your access road, converting it from a four-lane to a two-lane. So these are the two styles. Also, there is another style that people follow for creating four-lane driveways. That is, let's say you create two drive paths like this. And you just, let's say we move this from here to here, maybe a little bit more. Maybe something like this. Let's keep it like this. Okay. Yeah. And we'll move this point also a little bit, like let's say this. Okay, so and we'll go to the endpoints and change the entry flare radius to 0 and exit flare radius to 0. And we'll do the same for all of these points. We'll change the entrance and exit flare radiuses for all the points in here, right? And you can do the same for this one. And I mean, the gap you can keep as much as you want for the median. So anyways, this is not actually proportional, but we have to move it a little bit in both the directions. But anyways, I mean, it's kind of like this is another style that people use to create four lanes and just treat the mid side, the gap length as a median, or maybe just keep it as blank. For landscaping, we can add landscaping in there in form of blocks. And these are the three most popular styles of modifying your driveway. This is how you can do further. And now let me show you how to assign the blocks in here. So before we move to the blocks, any questions up to now? Anyone has any questions, any queries? Is it too fast? Are we going? Okay.
Let's say we have another cases usually in Indonesia. Let's say on the left side there is another issue about the land, that the land cannot be acquired. So would it be possible that we just try to delete the some part of that
Of the lane?
of the land and also the driveway?
So let's say you don't want the sidewalk and just reduce a little bit.
Because
Okay.
of the land issue.
Yeah, okay. So let's say I selected this driveway, I go to select all sides and I go to, this is the red side, right? So I go to my properties in that and I'll go to driveway red side. In here, I can see all the settings of my driveway. And let's say we'll go, okay, just a second. Let me select this, and the driveway red side is 13 feet. So I would say, let's make it 8 feet and turn off has sidewalk, right? So now it does not have a sidewalk. I mean, if you want a sidewalk, you can keep it, but you can reduce the lane of one side. All right, so that's very easy. So Cyrops is it's basically it's an application that's more of a practice based. The more you work on it, the more you'll be easier and faster to do this. But I can tell you, a site like this, it can take hardly, you can create it within 30 minutes. You can create something like this, a entire residential project like this. So that gives you the power to create multiple designs, multiple layouts, because we can utilize a proper space, how many buildings we can fit in, how much cost is it going to be involved. Basically, what everything that master planning is about, right? We get to choose and modify. Now, you can see there's a pond in here. So let me just delete the pond and let me show you how easy it is to actually create a pond. So if I go to other area under the layout, there's an option called other area. In here, I will create something. It can be any design. It can be a triangular. It can be of any shape or form as you would like. And I will close this area. Okay. So after I've closed this, this is selected. Now I will just go to the type and make it a pond. Now you can see it has become a pond. So I'll just select all points and give the pond a bit of radius so that it just, I mean, to make it look a little bit aesthetic. And that's how my pond is already created. Now I can change the settings of my pond. I can select the pond and go to properties. And this is where I can provide the side slopes, the berm width, the riser height, what would be the riser limit, the inflow count, all of my pond settings for my stormwater drainage. Nowadays, if you're doing any kind of site, it's kind of a necessity that you have some sort of stormwater storage place. It could be a kind of a pond. I mean, you can have a pipe just to drain it out from the pond, right? We will have pipes connected from there. So just to grade the site properly, to make sure that the stormwater is it goes out properly from the site. So that's how you can create the ponds very easily. Now we will do the grading, and I'll show you how the grading solver works when you have grading issues. So once you do the grading, you can see this is how the software is grading at present, and the cutting and the filling and or the costs that are associated with the entire project, right? So if I close this, I'll just quickly let me delete these driveways first. Let me hit the layout solver, and then we will do the grading. Okay, so let's do the grading again, and we will just grade it for a few seconds, and then we will proceed with the grading solver on how to solve grading issues. So let's say I have my earthwork optimized. I have the cutting, filling, the cost that it will take. So now I will just close this, and you can see grade is not feasible. At the top, it's saying that the grade is not feasible. That means, however I have graded the site, it's not meeting the requirements, that the site is not prepared yet. So how to check if the site is prepared or not? We'll go to layers on the right-hand side, and we will scroll down towards the bottom, and we will see an option called slope problems. We will select slope problems, and here in red, it will highlight where we have grading issues, as you can see. So this is where I have grading issues. So what is a grading issue? That means I have defined some sloping for my parcels, right? The yard slopes 10% at the back side, 10% at the front side, minimum -10, maximum +10. But it cannot meet the parameters at this specific location. It's trying to tie into the existing ground, and it's missing the ground by 0.6 feet. Somewhere it's 1 feet, less than 1 feet. So why is it happening? If we turn on the Esri layer, we'll get an idea on why this is happening. So let Esri layer come through. It's taking a bit of time, but okay. But anyways, you can. It's taking a bit of time to load the image, but due to internet, but you can see this particular area. If this gets loaded properly, you will see that this particular area has a very steep slope. It's kind of a mountainous area. Okay, so the end of these parcels, they're trying to tie down with the ground of that slope that we have, that uphill slope in there. So that's why it's unable to tie into that existing ground. In such cases, let me just turn off the slope. In such cases, what we have to do is we have to put up a retaining wall around the property boundary to make sure that we tie in with the existing ground. So how to create a retaining wall in your project? So you go to other area. Again, this is the same option that we used to create a pond. So we go to other area and we zoom in, and we start clicking and creating an area from here. So let's go from here to here, and wherever there is steep terrain, we are taking that into consideration. But again, we have to keep in mind that retaining walls are costly, right? So just let me turn off the Esri layer. So I am just creating another area that's like a rectangular area. I am tracing it right around between the parceling area and the property boundary. So I'm creating something like this. And I will close this area, right? Now I have closed this. Now this is another area that I have created. So we will go to edit option now. At the edit tab, you will see there is an option called chain sides. We will click on chain sides and we will select the inner side of the other area. It will get dashed and we'll left click and we will just drag our mouse, just move our mouse along this path. And once it is done, I will left click and it is selected now. Right click and or maybe just go to the properties and it is selected and I am in the properties. In the properties, you can see there is something called a link height under the grading. So what link height does is basically it tries to make sure that the parcel is linking with the existing slope. It's trying to tie in with the existing ground. So if I turn that off, then the end of the parcels in those particular area, they will no longer try to tie in with the existing ground. Rather, the software will automatically create retaining walls in there. And the software will calculate how long retaining walls, what should be the height of the retaining walls to make sure we can grade properly. It can be 6 feet, 8 feet, we don't know, 4 feet, the height of the retaining walls, the total length. So that the software will calculate based on whatever we have in there. So let's grade it now. Let's see our contours. Let's turn off the triangles. So yeah, after we can grade it for a few seconds, you can see in here that it's calculating the cost of retaining wall now. So retaining walls are one of the most, essential things that we got to do. And but we also have to remember that we are not going to unnecessarily put up retaining walls anywhere. So we are only going to put up retaining walls wherever it's required. Okay. So now I'll just close this. And you can see now it's saying, please run piping solver to see pipes. And the top right option, utility solver, is now on. That means my site is graded perfectly. Now I can export this and take it to CAD. And the cost report, I can take this out because this is perfect now. The grading is perfect. The finished grade is perfect. So that means the grading solver has run based on whatever parameters we had for our profile, for our site design, everything. So this is how you can you can put up retaining walls to fix the grading issue. And also you can change the driveway slopes in some cases to fix some grading issues. We can just manually change the driveway profile, make it up and down if there are some grading issues in the driveway itself. Then we can do that. Also, there is one thing that we can do, that is, suppose there is a parking lot, like let's say in this area. Okay, so this is a parking lot, right? So in a parking lot, we don't want the grading to be done. We want to have a kind of a constant grading. We don't want too much slope in there, right? So how to define that? Instead of parking lot, I mean, we can define in a parking lot. Instead of define, let's say it's a truck loading area, truck docking area, or maybe in any specific area where we want a constant grading. For that, we have an option called constraint grading. Let's say I want in this area, I want the grading to be constrained. So I'll just click on constraint grading and select, just create a triangle or any shape. And I'll just go to properties of this. So this is the grading constraint. I have the minimum and maximum slope in the grading constraint. Okay. So let's say I give it from 1% to 3%. So the grading in this particular area will be constrained within 1% to 3%. And the direction also I can give directional path. Let's say from here to here and path. So that means the maximum grading will be on this side, 3%, and the lowest grading will be on this side, on this end, and it will gradually grade. And we can do this for the entire site. For the entire site, if we wanted to have a constant grading, that all the storm waters will go downwards. Let's say we have a natural water body, we have some rivers or some kind of ponds by the side of the site. We can make the entire site have a constant grading and just grade it in that direction. Okay, so that's how you can manipulate grading. And yeah, sure. It's
So if you want to control the grading of the entire area, so you have to make the boundary. the entire
Yes,
Boundary.
yes,
So that you can.
yes. So it's going to be something like this. So we just select any, it could be your property boundary or let's say the passing area that you have created. Let me hit the layout solver. You select this passing area, and we'll just go to offset, and let's say we can put the offset somewhere in between the passing area and the property boundary also. Okay, so I'll select this and convert to an area, and let's say we will just maybe keep it grading. All right, we have grading in here. Now we will have a minimum slope of 1%, and the maximum slope for the entire site is going to be, let's say, 7%. Okay, and we will give a grading direction for this. Let's say, let me select this, and we'll go to grading path. Let's say it will grade towards this direction. So the path will go from here to here, end path, right? So now if we select the grading area, you can see the arrows that's pointing the grading. So we have the maximum grading at one end and the minimum grading at another end. And now the entire site is graded accordingly so that all the storm waters go towards that water body that we have. Okay, so basically SiteOps as a tool, it can do whatever you want it to do. So it's all about your engineering judgment, how you want to design. The software will do everything the way you would want it to do, right? So, and there are multiple ways, many designs you can do, many ways you can control things. We will share a list of videos with you guys so that you can have a look. The opportunity to explore different things is huge. It's beyond the scope of any 3 hour session, right? So, and it will take few, maybe a couple of weeks. If you work on SiteOps, you will be able to do something like this. Even in 1 week, you can create something like this. It's not even that much difficult. So let me show you parking lot very quickly. So I'll just create this. I'll just delete this driveway, and maybe we'll just hit the layout solver, right? So let me delete this one also. Okay, so I have now emptied this place, and okay, so these are distracting the grading links, right? So I'll go to layers, and I can turn off anything that's distracting in here. So let's say area grading, I'll turn it off. So it's there, but it's not showing up, similar to we do in CAT platforms, right? So if you want to just focus on one particular area. Now, let me go to layout and go to parking lot area, and we'll just create a parking lot in here. Let me create, it can be of any shape. Go to layout, go to parking lot area, and just create a parking layer. And just like that, as soon as you're done, it creates a parking, right? So let me just make it a little bit something like this, maybe. Just keep it like this. All right, and now we'll select the parking, go to properties of the parking, and select all points and give all of them a radius of 30 feet. Okay, so just before we proceed, everyone joining online, are we able to follow? If there is any questions?
I have one question.
Yeah, please.
I want to know what is the base this practice from this software
Mm.
compared to other similar software like Civil 3D.
Yeah.
What is the best difference of
Yeah.
this software?
Okay. Okay, so how many of you in here have used, I mean, if you have ever worked in site layouts and done this kind of projects, any kind of master planning. So how many of you have used Civil 3D or AutoCAD? AutoCAD manually. So you're doing all of this manually. I mean, this is just, you can see how much time it's going to save. And even in Civil 3D, if you've used Civil 3D, if anyone even online have used, I would like to ask, how much time does it take to create a parcel area like this? They can't do this. This automation is not there. Okay, so you just create a drive line and driveway, and it just automatically creates the parcels. You just define the size and the width of the building, and it just creates it. You just create a parking lot, and it creates the parkings. Civil 3D cannot do that. So you have to spend a lot of time just to do a master planning, just to create a site layout. Before we even proceed to detailed design is a later stage. And most of the heavy work is done in here. Once we have the planning ready, then what is detailed design? We'll just take it into DWG. I'll show you how the DWG even looks like. We'll just take it into DWG, and it's all there. All of these are there. So we'll just add in Civil 3D, whether you can take it in Civil 3D, where you want to take it in Revit or AutoCAD, whatever. In MicroStation, you just add, maybe you'll be doing some fine tuning, adding some 3D elevations in some places, and adding the annotations, and then just getting the drawing sheets and plan and profile. Nothing else. And just adding some properties, BIM properties, item types and stuff like that, asset tags, asset IDs. So that's the later stage. That's kind of like just modifying the site and making it prepared for production. It comes under production, right? The main design is already done in SiteOps. So that's where it is far more beneficial than any of the CAD platforms that we are using, you guys are using right now, or even Civil 3D or any other Bentley application. I can vouch for that also. So now, okay, I have this parking lot. Now I'll show you in next 30 seconds how you can modify a parking lot and just make it better. Let's say I choose one side. I'll just choose this one side and go to properties and turn off allow parking. Okay, and just hit escape. All right, so it does not have parking in that side now. I'll just click on this side also and turn off allow parking. Now it will not have parking in that side also. All right, so we have parking in only two sides. We can turn off parking in any side. Now let's say I select my parking, I go to direction path. I click on direction path and give a parking direction and do an end path. I can see the parking direction just changed just like that. You try doing this in any CAD platform or in Civil 3D and tell me how much time it takes. And now let's say we need handicap parking in there. So let's go to space point, and we can put a space point anywhere. Let's put a space point in here. Okay. And after we put the space point, we can click and go to the properties of the space points. Now, it tells me how many spaces are required for your handicap parking. I will say, let's say two spaces. And we generally have a wider width for the handicap parking. Let's say I'll keep it 15 feet and click on enter. So now you can see I have 2 parking spaces that have a bigger width. So for the handicap parking, right? And even then I can just move this point, and with that, the handicap parking will be moving. So I can place it anywhere I like, right? So it's not done until I say that it's done, because I'm doing the master planning, right? So I can just place it anywhere. I can move it around because I feel like maybe I could place the handicap parking on this side. That'll be good. That'll be good. So I can just quickly move the point. Now, let's add a bay point. So if we go to bay point in here and just put it over here and put a bay median width of, let's say, 5 feet. Now you can see you have a bay median of 5 feet. All right, that I just put in there. Now, there's furthermore modifications that you can do. Let's say on the green side, I want parking depth to be 26 feet and the parking angle to be 60 degrees. So, wait to load. Now, you can see I have a 5 feet median, and one side of the bay I have put a longer parking area for truck parking maybe, or SUVs. And this one is for four-wheelers, passenger cars, and it has a smaller parking width and smaller parking depth. So you can modify, I mean, very easily and very quickly. Even you can change the aisle. So there's something called aisle point in there. Let's click on aisle point and put it in here. Okay. In between these two areas, I'll put the aisle width in here, aisle point, and change the aisle width to, let's say 40 feet. Now you can see this aisle just became 40 feet so that trucks can come and they have the proper rotation that they can do the transition for the corner truncations, and they can park there. Now, also island point you can use to just place island at any place. I can also define the width of the island. Let's say it's a 15 feet island, and I can move the island where I want to place it. So I just placed it over there. So you can see, I mean, I just all the tools that I showed you and how easily quickly you can modify a parking lot area. This is impossible to do any application. You can bring in any application right now in front of me, and I can challenge you, you cannot do this. This is not yet there. Anyone's not doing this. So now we'll do one very important thing, that is vehicle tracking, vehicle simulation. I'm sure you have done it in AutoCAD, CAD also. You guys, when you're doing the master planning, you're doing the vehicle simulations, whether the exit or entry flare radiuses are correct for your vehicles, the turning radius. So let me show you how easy it is to do in here. So let's say this four-lane driveway. We go to vehicle path route. Okay, this option under the layout, and we create something like this, right? I will create a route, let's say like this, and we'll take it like this. So just left click, I'm done, right click and end path. All right. So I created a vehicle path route. All right. Now it is selected. And in the properties, you can see you have a few options in there. The most important option, vehicle template. As you were also asking about ASTO classification. So we have ASTO classification in the vehicle template in here. So if I go to edit, you can see that all the ASTO classifications of the vehicles are in here. So if I load all of them, you can see semi-trailers, single unit, buses, intercity buses, passenger cars, all of them. And these are all whatever ASTO classification data we have. Now, it does not mean that you cannot create your own. you can also modify this data and create your own group of cars or type of cars and save it as a new. Just change the dimensions. And also you can turn wheels, follow wheels, all of these things. Let's say I select a passenger car in here and click on apply. Now you can see the turning radius is correct or not, whether the entry radius is correct for the lane or not. So this is very easy to simulate, and you can export this into CAD as also, right? So and also it's telling you what kind of car you're actually simulating. You can see ask the passenger car. Is that text is also there. So uh, probably you guys do this in CAD also, right? Create some kind of simulation like this, whether it meets the requirements or not. But it's very easy to do in Cyrops. You just select a truck and check whether it's meeting the turning radius or not. If not, then we have to increase the entry player radiuses. Like in this way, like the other two driveways that we created where we had stacking, where the road was stacking like this, we may have to move the entry radius, make it wider and give it some stacking so that maybe trucks can enter in there and then go to the driveway. So that's also one of the most useful things. Now I will move to another project, just highlight a few things, and then we will move to visualization. So just keep this as it is, and maybe let's go to my, let's say this one. Yeah. Maybe we'll be in 10-15 minutes. We'll get this done and we'll get into the Q&As and then we'll wrap it up. Yeah. 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 Okay. All right. So this is in the same site, but this is a different kind of project. So let me just show you the 3D viewer. So that's a bit better to understand. Now, okay. So what kind of project? This is a mixed project basically. So you have a 4-lane road that's entering, and these are 3 commercial buildings. Now, one important thing, the building pads, you can provide height in here also inside of Cyrops. So even in 3D visualization, you will see them having some sort of height. But I have not given height in this case because we have exported this into Luminati. If you give height to this, then that height will be exported to Luminati also, but we don't want that. In Luminati, we will bring models, 3D models itself. So that's why we have kept it flat. Just the area we have highlighted. This is the building area. This is where the building is going to stand. So you can see this is these are 3 office buildings and we have some car parkings in here. Okay, so it's a commercial project, and the same road is going around this way. And we have kept, we've also shown a roundabout. We can create a roundabout inside of Cyrops also. I can quickly show you how to create that. And also you can see medians. Oh, I think I haven't shown you medians, but I can show you how to create medians also. And you can see this is a median, and we can change the property of the median also. We can give it gravel or light paving or stuff like that. And you can see this is a parcel area that I've just killed in a few residential plots in here. So just to showcase that we can do mixed projects in the same area itself, right? Now I have exported this into a Luminati file. Now before we go there, let me just show you Google Earth export. And so from the export, if I go to KMZ and let's say I go to desktop and type in anything and do save. So it will ask me what do I want to export. So I'm going to say my post finished grade and my blocks, buildings, driving, pass lines, everything. Just turn on the blocks also if you have blocks. Maybe block placement we could have shown. Also the cost report also. I'll just quickly show you after we show you this. So it has been exported, and it's actually very difficult to go through all the segments in such a short time, but let's try. So you can see that 001, this is the one that I exported in Google Earth, this project, and I'll just open it in Google Earth Pro. This is the KMZ file. Okay, so yep, you have a project in here, right? So let's see, we can do, all right. So I can show you the other project as well. Since it has blocks, that houses, those are also visible in here. Like in this case, you can see the cars in here, as the cars are blocks, right? So you can visualize them in here. But the other one also had buildings, so you could actually visualize buildings also in the Google Earth Pro in form of blocks. So basically, you can export the entire site in KMZ. Now, this is for clients, for stakeholders, that this is the project location, this is how the project looks like with respect to whatever terrain we have. Now, I will quickly close this, and I'll quickly show you a couple of things, and we'll go to Lumina T. So if I go to cost report, I think the last project I did not show, so I'll show you with this one. Maybe before I export, let me go to view. Okay, if I go to view and go to cost report, from here I can get the exact cost of each of the material that is inside of this site. It can be your site clearing, your cutting, you can see earth cut, rock cut, your filling. So that is cutting one area and using that same material to fill another area, right? That's how the site has also graded it. If we need to import separately, that also will be given in here. You can see grading export. That means the rest of the excess soil that we need to dispose of, because we don't have any more to fill. So that cost, the travel cost that it will cost, or wherever you will be disposing that, that's also included in here. Now these values you can set. Now all of these are in dollar, but that does not mean that you cannot change it in your currency. That is just dollar is just for viewing purpose. You can set it in your own currency. I'll show you quickly from where you can do that. But first, let's go through the things. Now, these are all the quantities of asphalt and the concrete. And you can see even the storm waters. If we run the storm water, we can get the cost in here also. For water pipelines also we can do. I mean, maybe we will share a few videos, because it's very difficult to cover everything in one session. So water inlets, stormwater inlets, outlets, everything will be taken into account. Now it will give you at the bottom the total site cost estimate. And we have got reports from actual users like Wood Partners, for example. Even if you go to YouTube right now and find Wood Partners Syrops, if you just type, you will see that they have done webinars also with us, and they have already reported us that the cost estimation is almost perfect with the actual site. So I'll just close it, and if I go to export from here, you can get the cost report in form of Excel, CSV file that you can open in Microsoft Excel, right? And just copy that entirely with the BOQ format that you already have. You already have a BOQ format in Excel. Just copy that, all the costs, just copy and paste it over there.
Also, price.
Yeah, the unit price I'll show you. Yeah. So let me cancel this. Let me go. So under the project, if I go to defaults, this is where all the defaults values are set. Okay, so the building defaults, parking defaults, road defaults. That means if I'm creating a driveway, what's going to be the width of it? I can set the default so that I don't have to change again and again, right? So from this, these are layout defaults, then these are grading defaults where the sloping defaults are provided. Then we have stormwater defaults, and then we have unit cost. This is where we can provide the cost. Now, the dollar that you see in here, dollar per square feet that's given, that's for only for viewing purpose. Okay. So in your currency, you can set, I mean, it's not actually calculating in dollars. So you can set it 160,000. Okay. So that's actually, it will take that into account because it's calculating based on per square feet or per cubic meter of soil that we have exported, or per cubic meter of asphalt that we have graded. So the cost is 160,000 for 1 cubic meter. So how many cubic meters are there for the pavement? And it will calculate automatically and give you the cost. So you can set the values according to your country. So just ignore the dollar term because it has no value in here. It just does not do anything. Just for showing purpose, it's meant as dollar. And once you have done the customizations, you apply. And also you can save this, all the settings as a separate file also. So whenever you create a new project, you just bring it in, just load it from here in form of a CSV. The settings are all saved, the prices are saved. I don't have to do anything. It's just setting up the project at the beginning, right? And I'll quickly show you two things. One is spatial templates. This is also another thing that we did not cover. Spatial templates, you can see there's a list of template in here. So on the right side bottom, spatial templates. Now, spatial template is something where we have standard templates that we can just drag and drop. So let's say I go to 250K warehouse. I can load this and place it. Okay, maybe that's too big for this site. Maybe because these things we will provide you. Right now it will spatial templates will be blank for everyone. So this is normally after users have purchased or taken evaluation license, then we give them access because these are all pre-designed by us. So let's say 60K retail with parking. All right, I just drag and drop it. And now if I hit the layout solver, you can see if I just rotate it a little bit, maybe something like this, and I can move it. Sorry, just a second. Just move it. Move to, let's say, I'm trying to keep it somewhere where we can place it. In this side, there's not much space to place, but okay, maybe anyways, I'll just keep it. I'll just keep it like this, just to give you an idea that you can just bring in and place them. It's already made, so you don't have to make anything. So let's say if I show you, let's say roundabout. Roundabout is also made in here, right? If I just select a roundabout in here, roundabout 80 feet, and just load it, I can just simply place it. It's already there. So I can make different sizes of roundabouts and just save them already. So depending on the project, if I need a 80 feet roundabout, I'll just drag and drop. If I need a 60 feet, I'll just drag and drop. So I can just save them. And how do I save them? I mean, if I go to draw and draw a circle in here, so let's say it's around 80 feet, enter, select, right? And I'll do an offset in here. Maybe I can specify a specific distance or maybe just place it anywhere. So I just did two offsets in there, and I'll select the outer layer, go to properties, and maybe first let's do the inner layer. I'll select inner circle, convert to area, and make this median. All right, and this median will not allow parking, will not allow parcels, and it will have a minimum sloping of 1% and a maximum sloping of 3%. This is the median of my roundabout. And The outer side, I'll convert it to an area and make this car drive. Also, we will not allow parkings or parcels, and the minimum and maximum is 1 to 7%. Now, if I select both of them, right click and make this a group. Now this is a group object. Now this is a roundabout. Now I can just connect any driveway with this. So if I just go to layout and just go to my driveway and just do it like this, and I'll keep it.
If we want to add another component,
Now you
let's
can
say
see.
the fountain in the middle, so it means that we have to add another.
No, we can add a block as a fountain. So yeah, let me show you the blocks real quick. So this is the blocks. You can see these are the list of the blocks that we have. You have human characters, like at the top, you have outdoor objects like street lights, you have plants, different kind of trees, vehicles, and you can have all sorts of things like houses. Let's say if I click on house, all right, or maybe let's see if we have a fountain in here. Yeah, we don't have a fountain. Let's bring it. Let's bring in a tree. Let's bring in a tree. By the way, these are not the only things that you can bring in. You can bring in any SketchUp model. Any SketchUp file can be imported as a block. And SketchUp models are free for download. Even we are using SketchUp models for Luminati also. I'll show you how to do that because it's easy. I mean, that's how people do it, right? Why spend time? Just download it and use it. All right. So let me just go to let's take this Australian pine tree. All right, let's place it over here. All right, so I placed this block. Okay, now if I run the grading solver once and just to let it do something, and go to viewer, go to 3D viewer, go to hardware rendering. Oh, okay, sorry, I did one mistake. Let me draw a path in here. And path, and I'll make this, I'll go to properties, I'll make it as a block path. Okay. So that means this is a block. I can, or maybe I can do one thing. I can just create an area, or okay, let's do it with the path. So let's say I can specify how many trees are going to be there. Let's say I specify there will be 5 trees. That means 5 blocks in there. All right. Blocking angles also we can change. And now once we have done this, we'll just go to assign block and we will select the tree. And now it's assigned. And we'll just delete this one that we just pasted, and we'll hit the layout solver and hit the grading solver. Let it grade for few seconds and go to our 3D viewer, hardware rendering. Where's the pine tree? I mean, is it too small? Oh, okay. Oh, there it is. I'm checking at the wrong place. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I'm taking the other drive. Here it is. So you can see the pine trees. So it's very easy. I mean, this is how I have placed all the houses, the cars, and I mean, you can place humans, traffic lights, all sorts of things. That means you don't have to do these additional things in CAD platforms. All right, stopping signs, everything can be done inside of Cyrops itself. So why would you do all of those things in other CAD platforms? And you can also visualize this. I mean, these are what your clients are going to see, right? Okay, so mostly we have covered. I guess we don't want to go overboard, so let's go to Luminati. Okay, yeah. All right, yeah. I'll close. Let's do a save and close. I'll just close this. Okay. So meanwhile, any questions? Any questions? If you have, just check my machine. I need a bit chill AC because this takes a lot of. Okay, let me just make it light. The visualization actually eats it a lot. Otherwise, it's gonna shut down.
May I ask about the trading in the outside of the world.
Yeah.
If we want to control the scope or
Crossfall,
yeah,
the cross slope. Yeah, you can, I mean, from the properties itself, there's an option to specify the cross slope.
Yeah.
That is what will be the cross slope of the driveway. So we can specify that. When we apply the template itself of the driveway, when we where we you know, I showed you the cross section template. In there itself, we can specify the cross slope, or we can separately also select the driveway and go to properties. You will find cross slope red side, cross slope green side. So we can specify two different cross slopes also, depending on the situation. Normally it's the same. We have the same cross slope. So you can keep it to 3.1%, 2%, whatever is required for that site, for that project. So yeah.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it's quite hot, but I'll give it a try. Yeah, because Luminati, you know, it's a rendering application, right? So it gets heated up a lot. So it's generally suggested that you keep the machine cool before you start working in Luminati, or maybe work with a chilled AC. Okay, so let's go. Not this one. Let me another one. Which one? Maybe this one. Because I corrupted one of the models when it shut down. I was saving it and it got shut down because of the heat. It will get corrupted. So that's why you need to work in chilled AC for the visualization. But okay, so let me just bring it down to 1 star. All right, now why did I bring it to 1 star? You see those stars at the bottom, the very end. The stars means the quality. Okay, the higher the star, the better the quality, and the better the quality, the more heat your machine will generate. So that's why I'm working with the lowest one now. But I'll show you the highest one also, and we'll give it a try. So this is the same project that we did, a mixed project, right? Where we mentioned that there are 3 office buildings and we have parkings in there. So you can see I have put some Japanese oak tree in here, and we have put some cars in there. We can add street lights and humans. I'll show you how it's done quickly. You can see these cars are, you can see all of these car models. There are different cars that I've put in the parking. I can also change the direction of it. And this is the lowest quality, all right? So if I move to higher quality, I mean, you can get an idea how, how the quality looks like. So if I go to humans, um, let's say there's 4 people are discussing on how many licenses we're going to buy for open site setups. And we just kept them. And now let's hear them talk. So you can see they're discussing. I mean, basically, it's like a real-time visualization. It's just that, not just that they're standing, it's that they're talking within themselves, right? So that's how it's going to visualize. And let's say our Cindy wants to cycle around this office building. So we'll try to arrange a cycle rider.
But anyways, you can get the area, water surface area you can get. The surface area of the entire water. So, but yeah, apart from this, I think this should be, you have mostly everything, all the riser height, berm width, and side slopes, riser top elevation, inflow crown, and the rest of the things, I mean, again, we have to go to open flows, maybe sewer gyms, run the analysis then. We can take this model also in our flows applications, and we can run rainfall data in there. IDF curves. So any other queries? Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
If we done with the grading analysis and total cost, and then moving into the residential or commercial
Mhm.
cost, it is possible. We,
I mean,
we want to know about the cost of.
oh, okay, so you were saying that you want to know what's the cost of residential and what's the cost of commercial
Yeah.
as a different segment.
Yeah.
Well, that segmentation in such a way,
Based on our parts now.
yeah, I mean, it's actually, as it grades the entire site, you know, it's gonna give you the entire artwork of the entire site. So, I mean, it's pretty difficult to just grade one specific portion, like a specific, but that can be done. So, there could be one thing that we can do is we may create different property areas, but maybe I'll check that. But as of now, I don't think that is possible, but could be a possibility if we create different property areas. Maybe we could divide it, because the cost is actually calculated based on the earthwork of the entire site. And how it is calculated, because you may have cutting in the commercial projects around those buildings, and that exact soil it is transferring for filling into the rest of the site, right? So it's very, very hard to differentiate the cost like that for commercial and residential.
Or maybe you can just cut the area and open in the new file.
Yeah, that's that. Maybe you just cut the area and take it in a new file, and there from there you can run it. Just the cost for one specific portion.
Yeah.
That could be an option, but directly there is. I mean, from here no, but and yes, sir, please.
Thank you, Mr. Randy. I just want to know from the input data, is
Yeah.
from the base map from the Google Earth or?
Oh, okay, so regarding import, I think, yeah, talking about geolocate, right? Yeah, so this is actually coming from Esri, ArcGIS. Okay, so ArcGIS, we are all aware, they do the Esri maps, and their terrains are, I mean, terrains and maps are almost as good as Google Maps. I mean, those are paid, those are not for free. So even if you get ArcGIS services, you have to get a license. So actually it's coming for ArcGIS, and it's absolutely accurate, and the latest data you will get. Okay, so it will load in a live scenario. Even if you go to Google Maps right now, you will find the site exactly looking like this. Even we saw in Google Earth, which is live, it's shown. Right. And also the zoning I want to mention in here, there's, you can see UTM and EPSG number as different zone. So once you geolocate, you have geolocated a site, you have brought in the terrain data, but how will it know? How will the software know what is the geocoordinate system? What is the zone of the geocoordinate system? You have to assign it from the UTM or EPSG. Okay. Or SPC if it's in US. So if I click on EPSG and I can just maybe type in, sometimes it just, yeah. So let's say NAD 8, I just entered, well, whatever, NAD 83 or something like that. Whatever the EPSG number 11258, you just put the EPSG number, that way it will all automatically geocoordinate to that exact location. So geolocation will locate the location, terrain will bring the terrain, but UTM and EPSG number will tell the software this is the correct geocoordinate system. Okay, and now how it will benefit is when you will transfer this to, let's say, any other 3D application, let's say Civil 3D, for example, for final detailing, there it will be stored, the geocoordinate system. So you don't have to assign it again in the other software. So it will be automatically transferred there. Right? So that's from where you will assign the zone, the SPC zone or UTM or EPSG number, just type it in. Just click and type. And if you want to cancel it, just hit escape. And this is it.
If this is onshore project, if other like for example offshore project, like
For offshore.
for offshore, it's also it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, offshore is also fine. I mean, for offshore, for plants, I mean, offshore oil plants,
Marine construction like for
like what?
for
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's also fine. You can use Cyros for that kind of project. It does not actually specify what kind of master planning you will be doing, right? So you can do the master planning in any kind of terrain, but specifically if it's offshore in the water, the structures, oil and gas structures, that may be a little bit that for that we have SACS, something called SACS that will do that better. So that's also another offering. And blocks also I have shown you, these are all just blocks that we have placed, just created some boundary and told them a block boundary and just selected a block and then we place it. So there are many more things that we can do, and we will share videos with you guys. You can have a look. But yeah, you had a few more questions, I believe. I have seen you writing them down. Yeah. Any other queries?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
Because I experience design but under sectors. I think it's important.
Okay.
And the confusing part is when we put the ponds, where to put the ponds, where to put the wastewater, when on the factory and etc. Is this software can suggest us where to put it? How big the drainage or
Yeah, so on this context, let me tell you one thing. So the thing is, even after in a couple of years, we will have software that will be doing automation in a completely different level, right? You won't have to design anymore. Right now, we can do so much. Later on, you won't even have to design. You just tell, Mike, and it will automatically design. But then what will be the engineers for? And this is the main question that you asked. This is what we are for, right? So we know from our judgment where we need to put the pond, right? So how are we going to define where we are going to put the pond? We will look at the terrain. We know from the contour, we know which are the low areas. Which are the lowest contours. So by instinct, I will try to make sure that the pond is somewhere around that area, because so that the grading, I don't have to do a lot of cutting, and I mean, it's naturally coming down there, right? So if it has some sort of slope. So again, is the terrain we have to analyze ourselves and we have to decide. This is what you are for. The rest of the things side ups will do. We have to do the thinking and design. The creative work, right?
Yeah, it takes the most.
Yeah,
most time.
that's why we are humans. We know the creativity. Yeah. And any other queries?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And do we have them in online or?
Offline.
No question?
No question. No question.
My mic was off, so.
Terakhir saya putus ya.
No, it was on?
Yeah.
No, that was also off.
No, it's on.
Still on, but not yet.
Please, maybe should I also just?
Yeah.
Maybe we can ask everyone to send their questions if they have anything, they
Yes.
can email us.
Yes,
If
yeah,
you please
Of
tell
course.
them, I think that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
we can.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Do you want me to talk, just give them, sending box, just I think. Yeah, that's your part.
Yeah, closing song.
That's the most important.
Yes.
Yeah. Everything is there.
Yes. Okay.
You know, we have several, those bundles are selling very well, from the subjects.
Yes.
Everything is there, right?
Yeah.
So you use what you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last part ya, Bapak Ibu sambil beres-beres makan rotinya, ini sedikit informasi mengenai produk licensing. Nah, mungkin tadi Rani juga sudah sempat mention ya, kalau kita ada namanya bundling yang namanya Cyclopsuite. Jadi Cyclopsuite ini adalah satu license di mana Bapak Ibu nanti dapat bundling beberapa software. Yang pertama itu adalah OpenSite yang menjadi fokus kita hari ini. Kemudian yang kedua sudah termasuk dengan Lumen Arti yang untuk visualisasi. Kemudian kalau Bapak Ibu juga ada di Mega Project Infrastructure yang mungkin di situ ada proyek jembatan, jalan raya, kemudian mungkin ada tunnel, ataupun nanti perlu analisis untuk drainase, nah itu bisa diselesaikan dengan paket yang Cyclopsuite.
Sorry, Bu, tadi pakai apa?
Yang Cyclopsuite. Jadi satu bundling license. Cuma kalau misalnya
Everything is there. Everything that is needed. From flows, from drainage.
Completely.
Yeah. Bridge to roads.
pokoknya proyek infrastruktur semua bisa pakai situ. Maka kalau Bapak Ibu punya untuk site development berarti open site-nya aja juga bisa dibeli satuan. Nggak mesti situ.
Terpisah berarti.
Kenapa?
Terpisah. Different.
Iya. Jadi Bapak bisa beli open site-nya aja, ataupun mau pakai yang bundling Cyclopsuite. Jadi sesuai kebutuhan. Nah, kemudian kalau dari segi licensing sendiri, Bentley itu sekarang punya namanya Virtuosity, Bapak Ibu. Virtuosity itu apa? Jadi ini adalah satu license yang annual subscription. Jadi bisa berlangganan per tahun. Yang kalau nggak diperpanjang nggak apa-apa. Karena kan kalau proyek-proyek seperti ini kan nggak continuous ya Pak ya. Jadi kan hanya bertahun saja. Nah itu kalau ada kebutuhan proyek, itu bisa pakai tipe Virtuosity. Nah, plus poinnya pakai Virtuosity itu adalah Bapak Ibu nggak cuma hanya dapat license, tapi juga dapat yang namanya key training. Ya, key training. Nah, key training itu bisa ditukar dengan mengakses video learning yang ada di Virtuosity, ataupun bisa juga ditukar dengan mentoring service. Jadi nanti online consultation dengan produk expert dari Bentley. Kalau untuk open site mungkin Panit yang akan bantu Bapak Ibu ya kalau nanti open site. Topiknya sendiri nanti Bapak Ibu boleh request nanti mau topiknya apa yang didalami, kemudian nanti bisa di report juga untuk di review. Jadi secara summary untuk license Virtuosity itu Bapak Ibu nanti dapat license-nya, kemudian tadi dapat expert services dengan key-nya, kemudian juga tidak ada maintenance fee lagi karena sifatnya annual subscription. Kemudian Bapak Ibu juga tetap dapat technical support dan juga software update. Jadi misalnya dalam 1 tahun itu ada software update, Bapak Ibu nggak perlu bayar lagi, sudah include di dalam license. Kenapa Pak?
Expensive.
Oh, not the expensive Pak, comparing to what we get from the project. Kalau pricing nanti bisa cek ke saya Pak, website ataupun nanti Bapak Ibu ada yang kontak ke Valen juga boleh. Oke. Terima kasih Bapak Ibu untuk waktunya dari pagi sampai sudah extend 1 jam. Mohon maaf waktu makan siangnya dipotong. Mungkin Bapak Ibu kalau ada pertanyaan susulan mungkin boleh nanti info kami ya. Dan mungkin nanti kalau ada jawaban dari kami yang masih kurang, nanti kami akan lengkapi.
Terima kasih Bapak Ibu semua. Ya. Nanti kita akan share video recordingnya Pak Ibu. Nanti juga melalui presentasi ya Bu ya. Kita akan share juga insya Allah. Itu aja yang bisa kami sampaikan Bapak Ibu semua. Nanti berikutnya seperti yang Ibu sini sampaikan, kalau ada pertanyaan terkait software, siap kita diskusikan nih Pak. Kita konsultasikan. Oke, terima kasih Bapak Ibu semua. Selamat siang. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Satu lagi mungkin Bapak Ibu trialnya bisa pakai 30 hari ya. Trialnya. Jadi kalau nanti jadi Bapak Ibu kalau mungkin ada yang nanti kita assign license-nya ya setelah ini.
Oh ya, training ini kan kita juga berikan sertifikat training ya Bu ya. Nanti silakan kontak saya nomor teleponnya. Kita berikan sertifikat training. Terima kasih Pak. Ya, terima kasih. Kita close ya. Terima kasih Bapak Ibu semua yang sudah hadir online. Nanti untuk share recording kita akan segera share. Kalau dalam waktu 1-2 hari berikut juga modul presentasinya. Terima kasih Bapak Ibu, selamat siang. Ya.
Betul Pak. Kemarin Bapak sudah sempat buat. Bapak mungkin coba cek ya, kalau nggak ada.
Connect with the Teams call and you can see.
Oh, maybe I will try to my other colleague.
Apa saja?
To try to install the different devices because basically our platform currently is
Nanti saya coba
high
diskusikan.
security of the
Kita emang bulan depan kita akan ada workshop open book Wilon juga.
Oh, you know.
Setiap ada workshop akan berikan di akhir trial. Iya, jadi kayak gini Pak. Nanti kita berikan seperti itu. Iya, pasti.
Saya aja gimana?
Kita foto-foto sebentar Ibu ya. Foto ya. Ini langsung nih. Foto sebentar.
Oh iya.
Okay, I'll check the version and I'll send you.
Oke.
Iya.
Kita foto di luar ya Pak Ibu ya. Oh gitu.
Di sini aja.
Di sini boleh Pak.
Thank you everyone.
Oke, di sini ya. Sini aja. Oh ya, sini aja.
Saya minta itu Pak, temannya.
Yang pakai ini dulu ya, pakai sama Pak Ibu.
Satu masuk dulu baru pakai.
Yes, ya.
Oke.
Oh, okay.
Oke.
Is there anyone? No.
Oh yes.
Now we'll be going to Manila. Yeah, tomorrow I have flight. We will go to Philippines. And 5 accounts.
Yeah, please. Pak, mari Pak, silakan Pak. Nunggu tukang foto.
So tomorrow you're flying to
Manila, yeah. I have around 5-6 accounts, some governments, government agencies like that. So we do open flows and sign. So it will be, those are account specific. We will be visiting one particular account and just like 3 accounts every day. Everyone from that account will be present, whatever they're working on.
Kasih, Pak. Kasih, Pak.
Ini Sekanta dan Anurak dari Viventy juga.
Oke. Halo.
You should take the center.
Yes.
One, two, three. One, two, three.
Terus ini bisa pakai. Oke. Oke. Sorry. Itu Ivan ya. Kebalik. Kebalik. Yes. Gitu ya.
Sininya belum ada laptop di laptop nggak Pak?
Kelihatan nggak?
Kelihatan Pak laptop nggak?
Iya ada laptop.
Atau perlu ditutup?
Yes. Oke. Oke.
One, two, three.
Oke, bebas. Yes.
One, two, three.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Pak. Thank you. Thank you, Pak.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Oke. Pak, ya, terima kasih ya. Thank you, Pak. Terima kasih, Pak.
Thank you.
Harusnya Pak.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. Okay. Thank you.
Nice meeting you. I'm so sad that you did not get to install on Mac. Try it at home. If you have any questions, drop me an email. We'll get it.
Makasih Pak. Salam Pak Anda Pak ya. Salam Bu ya. Makasih Bu ya. Thank you. Pak terima kasih Bu.
If you want to leave, you can go. Thank you.